Right, folks, it's Tuesday, the 19th of August 2026, and you're watching Sam Stuff with me, Sam, Barnsley Sam. Yeah, for them of you that haven't watched any of these before, this is basically me telling you about my life, what's happened over past 19 months, and what's happened in the rest of my life. So last night we went down to Seafin and Judd's patio, and it looks bloody nice. It is big. Our Finn said last week it's big, and like I said to him last night and last week, yes, but the garden's big. So in that respect, you know, it's big, but it don't overpower the rest of the garden. It's still got a lot of space left. We were sat on back step and just chit-chatting. I'm like, well, where are you going to put your grill? Because he's got a big gas-powered grill. He's like, I don't know. We've got 3 paving slabs left. I said, well, if you put them to the left at patio where there's that gap, I says, then you can put your grill on that, can't you? So he's hiked these 3 slabs up, and then him and Vicky got cooler fot grill rather than having to lug that up way up. And yeah, it looked good there. And I think that's where he's decided he's going to put it. So, yeah, Dad. So yeah, we just sat and we had a brew and a natter and took piss out of each other as we tend to do, and that was that. It was a good evening. And then we come home and watch sewing bee. So this day in history. So 17 years ago, I added to my collection of Trojan box sets, another 6 here. I love my Trojan box sets. I love Ska, Reggae, Blue Beat, you name it. And there's no better collections than these box sets in my mind. I just enjoy them so much. I've got hours and hours and hours and hours worth. Nah, this is just a small selection. Yeah, which 10, that was, when was that? 17 years ago? Yeah, so 14 years ago, I did my very first attempt at a standalone gig. And I did Button Down Bowser for the first time at Opium number 10, which didn't go down right well. Shoe and Vesper came all the way from Sunderland. Picked guitars overnight, which were nice. But other than them and me and Vicky and bar staff, I don't think anybody else actually turned up. But as soon as I promoted it and the bar didn't, then it's little to no wonder, isn't it? They want all the money over at bar, but they'll not be doing it. They don't want to do out to promote it. It happens. It's a special one. Happy anniversary to Mick and Maz. Married 10 years now. Congratulations to you both. Wonderful people, pairing them. We went, and our Finn got to wear his prom suit again and looked smarter than his dad. I got my suit on and I looked like, I looked a state, I'm honest with you. But a damn sight bigger 10 years ago. But I don't know whose glasses though. I think they might have been Vicky's glasses that he put on for some reason, I think. And he looked like that bloke out Kingsman, him that played Elton John in Rocket Man. I can't remember his name. It sounds like something odd. Taron, I don't know, Egerton, I don't know. I don't know his name. And 6-year-old was celebrating because, yes, I was diabetic, but I could eat doner meat. I mean, happy days. You know, you get told you got this, but you get to be able to eat one of your favourite foods. I mean, yeah, the fats and everything in it not necessarily that good, but the actual meat side of it. I mean, I remember years and years and years ago when I first got diagnosed, and it's like, what can I eat? It's like, do you like chicken? I'm like, I love chicken. Well, you could eat full chicken if you wanted to, Simon. It wouldn't do you any harm. I mean, granted, you've got to balance the meat off with other things, but yeah, the first night after being diagnosed, what worse one, because I went to work and I'm stood, and I got told I could have between 10 and 12 units of carbs, and basically, you take. Let's have a look at, for example. Hey! Sorry about that, post lady coming. Got so much she couldn't put in my slot. What were I saying? It's going to be fun to edit this one today. That was it. We're on about diabetes and carb things that I could have and couldn't have. I was told I was allowed between 10 and 12 units of carbs, which basically, as I was going to tell you, as you see on the back of here, your nutritional information, it says here carbohydrates, boom, per 30 kilogram, what am I on about? 26 grams of carbs in a 30 kilogram serving. Now that 26 you divide by 10, so it becomes 2.6. So that's just over 2.5 portions of carbs. A slice of bread, maybe one. But yeah, and I went to work that night, and I had a look. I thought, well, I'll have a sandwich. I had a look back at the sandwich, and it was stupid figures like 100 and odd grams of this and 100 and well, I was almost in tears because it's like, what can I eat? I can't remember what I ended up having. Something absolutely stupid. I mean, the thing is, before I got diagnosed as being diabetic, I was desperately trying to lose weight. And I was eating loads of cereal bars, and drinking loads of apple juice, and everything that I was drinking and eating, I got a shit ton of carbs, and I was eating Weight Watchers meals, which everything in a way, I'm not dissing Weight Watchers, but they replace the fats with carby type stuff. Now I can't process the sugars and carbs. That's why I'm diabetic. And that's where I was going wrong. I was eating everything that I shouldn't be eating. That's why I weren't losing weight. That's why I weren't being well. That's why I'm getting these sort of like boils on my back and my groin and one thing or another. So yeah, but he would only have to coming up next morning and having a chat with Vicky, and she's like, well, everything in a pre-packed sandwich is processed, Simon, so it's going to be, you know, make yourself a sandwich, get some fresh chicken, I can eat full fat milk, blue milk, I can drink that, it's not a problem, it's good fat for me. Full fat mayonnaise I can have, it's good fat for me. Full fat cheese and stuff like that, you know, as long as you don't just eat that, you know, you're alright. So it eventually worked out anyway. So yeah, where were we? Oh yeah, that was this day in history. Not a great deal else to tell you really, other than I'm spending 30 quid on something really daft. My mate Jace, my ex-manager Jace, posted this on Facebook yesterday, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get me one of them." And somebody asked him where, how, what, and Alice, his missus, said his lovely wife bought it for him for Smiths. I've been on Smith's website, and it costs 20 quid for record player, and it's a tenner for record packs. And according to Jace, they release a new record pack every so often for gullible morons like him, his words, not mine, to purchase. Well, if we're talking about gullible morons, so yeah, I'm going to be ordering one of them next week or so. And Big's like, and I'm like, it's going to go in studio, it's music related, it'll fit in well, and it's about that big. And this is her that's wanted me to buy her an advent calendar that every day that you open it, you get a tiny little chuffing island cow in. I'm like, and where are you going to put them once you've opened it? They'll go in the bedroom. I'm like, oh, right. So you can have all your shit knocking about and on display and everything, but I want to put something in the studio behind a closed door. Marriage. I don't know. Where would I be without her? Not here, that's for certain. I wouldn't. We will not dwell on that. Right, so that's it. I'm going to get a bath this afternoon because we are going out for a carvery after she's done work today. But up until that point, I have no idea what I'm doing. I might do a bit more in the studio. Make room for my new toy. I'll see you later. TTFM. Hey, Paul. It's Tuesday, the 19th of August. Is it? I can't remember now. Excuse me. Sat here doing this out, put the microphone on.